5 Most Powerful Moments in Love, Death and Robots Season 3. Season 3 was a fantastic season of the show. It contained 9 episodes that stood out for their art styles, performances, and compelling stories, many of which contained some fantastic moments. With that being said, I thought I'd reveal what are the 5 most powerful moments in the entirety of Season 3. So what is the most powerful? Well, let's get into it. Here are the 5 most powerful moments in Love, Death and Robots Season 3. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Number 5. 3 Robots, the Destruction of the Planet. A moment that's made it onto this list, but lower down, is actually the premise of what 3 Robots was about and what it stood for. The insight into the devastation that humans caused to the planet in the future, and the fact that even when they wanted to save it further down the line, it was too late, was something that rang true and was a nod to our society today. It resonated and cut through despite being executed in an extremely comedic way, and there being a bluff at the end that the species of cats actually destroyed the planet. Number 4. Swarm, snapping back into reality. A moment that I think deserves to be on this list is the moment in the closing few minutes of the episode titled Swarm. We saw Galena get absorbed by the swarm due to the traitorous behavior in order to aid the Doctor in exploiting the swarm to implement their learnings into the human race, which was something we knew that the Queen didn't agree with. After being absorbed, visually it was haunting in the sense that she wasn't in control at all, and her eyes were also in the back of her head, with the bright red blood proving to be extremely vibrant on screen. But after this, we saw that there was a moment that really stood out. It was a part that showed just how cruel the Queen in the Swarm could be. She allowed Galena to snap back into reality for a second, and you could see the sheer amount of pain that she was in. The fear and emptiness in her face, wondering what she was doing there, was something that really cut through, and lingered in my mind long after the episode was finished. Number 3. In Vaulted Halls Entombed, fighting the possession of Cthulhu. The 3rd most powerful moment in Season 3 I feel occurred in the penultimate episode. We saw the reveal of Cthulhu and the hold it had over the Sergeant. Harper, however, was trying her hardest to resist the curse and control that Cthulhu was trying to have on her. The sheer screaming whilst firing the weapon at it, knowing that there was nothing she could essentially do, was a moment that stood out so much. You could feel the tension gradually rising, and we saw the emotion in her eyes as she was losing grasp. Then, in the closing moments before it faded to black, she calmed down and it looked as though she was going to fall under its hold, and she would go on to free the monster. However, when the episode re-emerged out of darkness, we saw the harrowing image of her walking away, having cut her own eyes out in order to save civilization and to keep Cthulhu from holding power over her mind. It was a powerful moment that left me speechless. Number 2. Gibarro, hearing for the first time. The moment that almost made the top spot came from the final episode in Season 3. We witnessed the deaf soldier, Gibarro, believe that he had murdered the Siren, who was trying to lure him in for the entirety of the episode. He stripped her of her gold, went to leave the forest, but during his escape he took a drink from the river that he threw her into. The water he was drinking turned into the blood of the Siren, and from here we saw the powerful moment occur. We saw Gibarro wake up and gain his hearing for the first time. Throughout the episode, we'd seen it cut to silence whenever it would contain a scene from his perspective, but this time we got the opposite. We heard every sound he could possibly hear. We heard birds, the wind, and the sounds that we often take for granted, as we saw how it impacted him. He couldn't take it. He was frustrated, panicking, fearful, and couldn't comprehend what had just happened. The fast cuts, close-ups to his face, and the confusion that he had made him look mad, and you could feel everything that he was feeling. All then for him to be susceptible to the Siren's lure, and it looked like something that was slowly taking over his mind. It caused his demise and was such a powerful moment. Number 1. Bad Traveling, the Captain's monologue and escape. The moment that I believe is the most powerful moment in the entirety of Season 3 occurred in the climax of the 2nd episode. We saw Torrin lead his ship with the intentions of saving the innocent lives of the people of the Faden Island by going against what the Beast was demanding. Torrin spent the entirety of the ship picking his crew off due to the fact that they didn't stand for what he believed in, and were prepared to sacrifice innocent lives on the island in order to save their own skin. The captain informed the Beast that they had arrived at the island, but he proceeded to articulate a closing speech that was quite something. He mentioned how Jabil's shark, which was something we got an early glimpse of earlier on in the episode, are good for nothing other than oil, and he then cut into each barrel on either side of the ship where the oil was contained. From here, he fired at the lantern, which lit the ship up in flames, and we witnessed the captain narrowly escape the grasp of the beast as he was running up the stairs. We had a vibrant orange glare that was a complete contrast to the darkness that we'd had all throughout the episode, and the inclusion of the slow motion shots really felt like there was a lot at stake, as we could see every ounce of emotion that he was conveying. The screams that the beast and its offspring were making as it was burning was quite something, and as the captain made it to the rowboat and looked on in relief as he himself rowed over to Faden Island, knowing that no harm was going to come to the people that lived there, rounded the episode off and made it feel like the mission was accomplished. It embodied the very thing of small sacrifices for the greater good, and the moral decision that you need to make. We felt every moment of Torrin's plan in the final scene, and it was executed and delivered so well. So, there you have it. What I believe the 5 most powerful moments in Love, Death and Robots Season 3 are. What do you think are the 5 most powerful? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.